You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hey, citizens of The Swingdom. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with my best golfing buddy, Gunnar. We're here to talk to you about golf, because that's what we like talking about. Right, Gunnar?
That's it. Let's talk about some golf, Ben.
We're going to talk about some golf. This is The Swingdom. This is the premier podcast in which one host is named Ben and he lives in England, and the other is named Gunnar and he lives in Virginia. We are the #1 podcast in the world with exactly those parameters.
Yeah, you would think it'd be a much tighter race.
It is.
Yeah, it's even tighter than that.
Yeah.
So we're just fortunate to have such a good audience for our golf podcast, because otherwise those other podcasts that talk about golf with a UK Ben and a Virginian Gunnar,
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be nothing. We'd be nothing without the citizens of Swingdom.
We'd be nothing without you guys. So I just want to let you know what we're going to talk about this week. This week we're going to do the news. And then we're going to talk about the Houston Open.
Yes.
Just a little bit, because it's moves, but we'll get into that. I'm going to make some picks. Gunner's going to make some picks. Gunner, I'm currently winning by 500 points.
500
in the points race. And I think this week I'm going to put together like a big group. Anybody can join.
Yeah, we can do that.
Fantasy thing to see if people want to compete against us. Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll even do some prizes.
Yeah, I like that. And also, let me add to all that. You keep saying this week. This is our first show this week. We have 2 a week.
Yeah.
So but this week, you're right. We will just be talking about the Houston Open.
Yeah.
And the news.
And then in between, we're going to be talking about our own golf games, and things that we like. And on top of that,
making some picks.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Instagram.
There's going to be some. Yeah, I was going to say, and then on top of that, don't forget to check us out on Apple iTunes. Please write us a review. We'd love that. Check us out on Spotify. Anywhere you find your podcast, we are available. We also do this video. We also video the podcast for YouTube. So if you haven't checked out the YouTube yet, go there, subscribe. The latest video up is me working with Matt Fryer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good video.
Yeah. So he teaches me how to hit my irons in a draw-like fashion.
And a little secret to this podcast today.
Yeah.
At the end of it, Ben and I are going to get in an argument. So it's going to be great.
Wonderful. I didn't know this yet, but I guess we are.
It might not turn into an argument, but I can foresee.
It better turn into an argument.
You and I differ on something, and I found this out yesterday. So,
all right. So we better start the show
on the Instagram.
Then.
Yeah.
You ready for starting the show?
Yeah, let's start it.
Let's do it.
You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year. 2 guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hey, what's going on, citizens of The Swingdom? I'm your host, Ben. We are here with Gunnar. He's a 5.3 handicap still. That'll change after this week. 5.2?
5.2.
Okay.
You've been saying it wrong. I just haven't corrected you.
Well, now that you have, I'm a 10.4 according to the World Handicap System, which I found out, which maybe I'll get into at some point. I'll dive into it. The World Handicap System is the same everywhere in the world, except Britain and Ireland.
So it's not really the world.
So it's not really the World Handicap.
The U.S. I don't believe has it yet.
No, we got it like just this week. So, I mean, I went down a point without even playing any golf, so that was super exciting, unless I'm trying to win something.
Right.
But, yeah, we should probably do what we do best, get into the news.
Yeah.
What you have anything for the PGA news this week?
I don't have anything for the PGA news, but what I did want to plug in the news is go check out our written content on the Swingdom podcast.com. Ben, Cousin Adam, Mug Dad. You got the little Mug Dad music?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. Hit it. Hit the Mug Dad music. And myself, we put up some written stuff, and we talk about all sorts of stuff. So that's really the news I have, because that's really blossomed.
You did the news. I just did the written version of the Ragedom, which I don't think helps anybody.
So Ben has a recent piece published up there, venting about some things. And I have a recent piece up there because yesterday was election day here in the United States.
Still going on.
And it is still going on. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
And I cover a little bit about the controversy with Jack Nicklaus and his praise for one candidate over the other. So go check those out. I promise we don't take sides. We just complain.
I take sides.
You take sides in golf.
Not politics.
I didn't take a side in the politics. I just said this is what's happening. So go check that out. Ben, what news do you have?
The news that I have is that Dustin Johnson is back playing in the Houston Open after contracting the COVID.
Got the COVID, got rid of the COVID.
Yeah. I think Harry Higgs is not playing because he now has COVID.
Everybody's got the COVID, man.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
For some reason, it seems like more and more people are getting it every day, and yet we're not stopping any golf.
I don't have it.
They're going to have fans there, and so a lot of people are complaining about the situation with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying there's too many fans. They're too close. We don't know who and where they are. I don't feel safe. I don't want it to be all COVID news.
Look, we just had I probably can't even get into it because you know how I feel about COVID.
Yeah.
But
no, get into it. I mean, this is
look, all right, let me get into it. We just had the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay. We just had the World Series for baseball. Okay. And there was 4 people in attendance because of the pandemic. Do you think that anybody cares about the Houston Open as much as they cared about the World Series? No. The World Series is the biggest event in baseball, and they limited it.
Yeah.
I thought golf was on the right track by shutting it down immediately, and now they're the most resistant to keep it shut down.
Yeah. And to be fair, I say to be fair a lot. I've noticed this lately. I keep hearing myself say it. One or two things here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in England.
That's true.
We lock down tonight at midnight for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Basically, people are saying through Christmas, they're saying we can't control this enough. We're locking down. The second thing is do you think they want so I don't know if I just don't remember this. I had a busy day. I'm a bit brain fried. But is Augusta having fans?
I don't believe so.
They've decided not to have fans.
They canceled the par 3 contest.
Okay, good. I just wanted to double check because I haven't seen anything about the fans in a while. So I didn't know if it was something they mentioned a while ago and just now got it sorted, or if it's something they've been doing for a while and yeah. So, and then the third thing is if a certain president gets elected, not reelected.
Sure.
Right? He's claiming he's closing everything down. I know that doesn't start until January 16th. January 19th? January 20th?
I don't know.
January 16th or 17th, I think he gets inaugurated. But I mean, to me, what it looks like from the outside in is that Houston is having fans because it's Texas, and they can. Because they can.
That's why
it takes a lot of pressure off the Masters. It takes a lot of pressure off the Masters.
The Masters is doing the right thing. Don't have fans.
Yeah. And if they were doing the right thing, they wouldn't have a tournament.
Oh, did you see what the Masters is doing? If you had a ticket for the 2020 Masters, you can pay another $150 and they'll send you a big box of that, Masters cups, and they'll send you all the food so you can have a Masters watch party. So they'll send you like pimento cheese sandwiches and the wrappers and stuff.
That's
But it's like a
amazing.
lot of food. It's for a gathering. Because like the pimento cheese is like $1.50 at the Masters.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. It's like, is it for 4 days?
Yeah, it's like 4 days worth of food.
It's like you could have a party, or it could just be for me for 4 days.
But it's cool because it's all right. It has the napkins and it has the like sandwich wrappers with the Masters logo on it, and it has the plastic commemorative cups. It's really cool. It's a cool idea. I think that's nice.
That is really nice. That is
I'd
really
pay
nice.
$150, but you had to have a ticket. Which again, they didn't say I could have a ticket.
They did not.
They already denied me for 2021. Ridiculous.
I don't know. I think they have for me as well. So yeah, and so the reason there's not a whole lot of news this week is because all the news for this week is what's happening at the Masters next week.
Yeah, and we don't want to dive too much into that because next Wednesday is a very special show for us. So we want to be able to jam pack it with the goods. It might be an extra long episode. I don't know.
We're not trying to leave this one light. It's just the golf world is leaving this one light because they're either playing at the Houston Open, which we're going to get into in a minute, or it's Augusta. And I guess like the biggest news is that there's no like Sunday practice rounds. I guess when you get there, instead of going straight to the course and having a practice round, you have to be tested. So that's fun. That's a good time.
Yeah, real fun.
Yeah.
Here, show up 5 days early and sit in your hotel room.
Exactly. So
that's amazing.
So yeah, you have anything else? No. The only news I have is the Augusta National, the Masters Championship of Wonders is next week.
You know what I saw on TV last night? They were playing something about Jack Nicklaus, and this is what I want to ask you. Do you think, and this is Masters related.
Yeah.
Do you think Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer were friends? Because they made it sound like they hated each other. And
I think they had a lot of
mutual respect.
I think there's a lot of mutual respect.
This is totally off topic, I know. But it was because the Masters and, Jack and Arnold Palmer were, big staples for the Masters for obvious reasons.
No.
That they
I don't think they liked each other.
All right.
I don't think they were friends. And I think there's like one is I think there's a really, really big age difference.
There's a significant age difference.
There's a big age difference.
I thought by the end of it they were buds, but I wanted to get your take on that.
But I think by the end of it, like you've Jack Nicklaus, who's the greatest of all time in terms of wins, second places, majors, all that sort of thing, in an era where golf was sort of like it wasn't the everyman sport.
Right.
It was like the real country club sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. So what do you do there? And then I think the thing is by the time you were done playing golf, when you retire, you just don't want to see any of those guys ever again. So you see them at functions, and I imagine they were happy to see each other when they saw them every year at 3 or 4 tournaments a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine the majority of it was just sort of like. And this is gonna be super cynical, and I apologize for it. But it's like Jack goes up to Arnie, is like, "Hey, like we're working on this children's hospital in Miami, in Orlando. Do you think you can come out for a dinner and help us raise some money?" And I'm sure Arnold Palmer's like, "Hey, like we're working on some stuff here in Pennsylvania. You mind coming out and just hitting a few golf balls and helping us raise some money?" And I think it sort of becomes like a mutual need for one another. Because you don't have that story without the other. I think we're already seeing the beginning of that with Jack and with Phil and Tiger.
Right.
Like Phil and Tiger hated each other.
You know what? I've had this thought, and I'm glad I brought this up now. I'm not sure that Tiger hated Phil, but I am
Tiger hated everybody.
I'm really confident that Phil hated Tiger.
Number one, Phil definitely hated Tiger because Phil, and I think it's for the same reason. I think
Tiger comes along and steals his spotlight.
Not only that, but steals a few U.S. Opens.
A few of them,
just like Mr. Jack Nicklaus did to Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's such a mirror image of
I know
those guys.
You're right. It's the U.S. Open. Arnold Palmer never won, right?
Yeah, there's the age difference.
Yeah,
between the two of them, between Tiger and Phil, and I think
you're right. I've never thought to compare those two together. I'm really happy.
Oh yeah, when I think about Jack and I think about Tiger, like you can't think about Jack with Arnie, even though you're sort of like, well, Arnie, what it was Arnie's army. He was everywhere. He was winning nonstop.
That's what it was. It was Arnie's army, and it was heavily about Jack Nicklaus. It was so strange
because that's what happened. So what happened at the end of Arnold Palmer's career, which is like in his mid-30s, Jack Nicklaus shows up, and he just can't. He beats Jack 1 in every 10 times, which is just sort of it's heartbreaking. But then he starts up that program with IMG.
Right.
And he sort of becomes the role model, spokesman, best friend to the every guy. And Jack Nicklaus never really became that. So whereas Arnold Palmer had a clothing brand, he was doing stuff with castor oil, he was doing all this other stuff.
Yeah, Jack was more of the
Jack dove further into the golf
crowd, world. Right.
Yeah. Jack was like, well, I'm gonna win more majors, and then instead of this, I'm gonna build golf. I'm gonna become the premier golf course builder in the world, which he is. A Jack Nicklaus course is up there with any course in the world, like Creighton Farms in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I was showing that to a friend of mine the other day. They were like, "How much do you think Jack is worth?" And I was like, "I think Arnie was
I don't know because here in Virginia we also have Dominion Valley and Regency, which are sister courses, and those are designed by Arnold Palmer, and those are two of the most beautiful golf courses I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen a lot, but I've seen those, and they're great.
I haven't seen many Arnold Palmer courses either. I don't know about a lot of Arnold Palmer courses. I know there are, there's a Jack Nicklaus course 45 minutes away from me. There was another one in Ireland when I went to Ireland for that weekend. They're all over the world. He does all of the Trump course. He does most of the Trump courses, unless Trump buys a course. If he's building a new course, it's usually with Jack Nicklaus.
Go read the piece.
Go read the piece. I was going to say the thing about Jack though is I think Arnold made a ton of money for endorsing all these products. I want to know how much stake Jack gets in a golf course or golf club over its lifetime if he's designed the course.
I don't know. So he must get some sort of bit of the membership fees or something.
Because I know at Creighton Farms they built him a house, and it's on the market. It has been. It's on the market for $3 million. It's a big, beautiful house. It's on the 9th green. But when he goes and builds that golf course, he got that. I was talking to Soundman Dan. They gave him the house, and he sort of he gets to live in the house while they're building the course. And then he gets to sell it on for $3 or $4 million because it's Jack's house at Jack's course.
Right.
So on top of the 10 to 20 million for designing the course, the however many millions for building the course, he also then gets an extra $4 million bonus in the shape of a house.
Right.
I just, you know what I mean? It just goes on and on. I know Tiger's made the most money in terms of sponsorship deals with Nike. I also don't know how the money. The thing is with these guys, you see them on the Forbes list, but it mostly has to do with their career earnings,
right?
Because they never release their tax information. They never brag about how much money they have or whatever,
right?
But I do think it is sort of Tiger, Jack, Arnie, Phil.
Yeah,
in terms of finances, and I think Phil has to suck it up these last 5 years. To make the match happen, to make the match 2 happen.
Yeah.
And it's well, oh man, I didn't make it to the FedEx Cup. It's Well, I played one day with Tiger Woods in Las Vegas at Shadow Creek, and I made $10 million.
That's right.
So I don't need to be in the FedEx Cup this year or next year because I'm just going to play Tiger again for $10 million.
Let me continue to derail this show.
Good on you.
Speaking of sponsorships, did you see that Bryson DeChambeau has added DraftKings Sportsbook? Not a free plug.
No.
Well, I guess free plug. Not a shout out.
Not a shout out.
Just,
free plug,
just
but not a shout out.
Free
Part of the
bystander
news.
plug.
It's part of the news.
Part of the news. We're not plugging sports betting at all because we don't encourage addictive behavior.
No.
But we encourage golf, but other addictive behavior we're totally against.
Don't do that.
But so he's putting DraftKings Sportsbook on his bag, and I guess that makes like 156 sponsors total for Bryson DeChambeau alone.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I forget. Let me see if I can find this real quick.
It's not really ridiculous. Good for Bryson DeChambeau.
He's just
almost just said his first name.
He's my least favorite golfer at the moment.
It is something. It is something. I was kind of dumbstruck to read that number.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have for the news.
No, I was trying to figure out, because Tiger's got Monster Energy on his bag. And I've always wanted to know how much Monster Energy paid for that bag. Also,
he did Muscle Farm for a while, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or he goes back and forth between the two?
Yeah, I think so. But whatever. That's just what it is. So, yeah. You ready? You want to do a read?
Yeah, let's do a read.
Let's do a read.
Let's get out of here.
Let's do it. Let's do a better read.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Did you hear that little mistake I just made?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, because I need to go get my hearing tested at Beltone Hearing Aid Centers of New Jersey. Central New Jersey, near the Jersey Shore. Use the code word GOLF. Golf. And they will give you a free hearing test.
Free?
Free.
No money.
If you give them $10, they might take it. But what they'll do is they'll give it back to you afterwards. Yep. So what you do is you call +1 732 9000. You get in touch with Beltone Hearing Aid Centers of New Jersey. Check them out. If you're in the New Jersey area, which is basically anywhere in America now compared to where I am now, give them a call. Use the code word golf. Get a free hearing test. And if you're not near the New Jersey area, go to beltone.com and look up your nearest Beltone location.
That's true. Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah. Free plug for Beltones.
I know of two locations.
Yeah.
But I would prefer to call 732-888-9000.
Me too. I can't. I call it. It costs me a lot of money. So
I'll call it.
I call it on Facebook. And he's like, I'm working. And I'm like, okay.
We should call Beltone Hearing of New Jersey on the show one day and use the code word golf and say, I'd like my free hearing test now.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that on the next show for a read or something. We'll do that. We'll talk to him during the Masters. We'll see what happens there.
I love it.
All right. Back to the show.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Welcome back, citizens.
What's up?
Do you guys have your driver's licenses for the Swingdom yet?
Yeah, I got mine in the mail, actually.
Your identification cards.
Yeah, it's more of a walking ID, but
Oh, you know what we should do? We should make so I've been looking at a lot of is it golf
ball markers?
I don't know. Is it My Golf Spy or is it what we should do is
My Golf Spy.
Oh, they make such cool markers.
They make those they're going to come out with the pimento cheese ones soon.
So they do every year. They do one for the majors and they only do 100 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to start collecting these." And then I was like, "No. No, because when they played at Bethpage Black, it was the sign.
It was the sign, yeah.
It was the
warning
sign that said warning. It's usually a green jacket.
This is hard, yeah.
My favorite, I've got a couple of favorites. There's one where it's a grenade with a horseshoe as the pin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the name of that one's like almost doesn't count. But the one that everybody loves is the one where it's the tiger head cover with the goat horns and the beard.
Yes.
It's just called the goat.
Yes.
Yeah. What I want to do is do like the Swingdom ID card.
That's right.
Make that a ball marker.
Yeah. What I was saying was I recently got my Swingdom ID.
Swingdom currency. We can make like coins, like Swingdom currency coins.
You're right. And the reason I only have a walker's ID is because when I applied for my driver's license with the Swingdom, they said absolutely not. You're not driving.
You didn't pass the vision test.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. And they don't even have like a day driving only option. So
look, you know what? Know what the driving test is at the Swingdom? It's 10 golf balls, and you sliced 4 of them.
Driving test.
You like what I did there?
I like what you're doing.
That'd be amazing. Oh, we're gonna do this. We are gonna do this. You go to the driving range. You take a video of you driving the golf ball 10 times.
And see if I pass the driving test.
See, and honestly tell us if you hit it down the fairway. Let's call it like a 40-yard fairway.
Yeah.
Like if you hit it down the fairway 7 out of 10 times, you've passed your driving test.
Okay.
And we will mail you a laminated ID.
Yes, I like this idea. Do that.
We'll mail you a laminated ID signed by one of us.
Yes. I like this. Let's get it done.
We just did it. That's it.
We just did it.
That's it.
Send us a video. You've got to hit it 10 straight times, and if 7 out of the 10 land in the fairway, you get a driver's license.
Yes.
For the Swingdom.
An
official Swingdom ID card.
I've got a laminating machine that's just gathering dust.
Right, as most do.
Mm-hmm.
As most home use laminators.
And what we'll do is we'll number them.
Yeah.
So I have to go and do this now. I may not be number 1.
you probably won't.
Is it all right if I do it on the SkyTrack?
No.
I've got to go to a real course.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
On to the Houston Open. You ready for this?
Houston Open. Sorry, I got so excited about that driver's license.
It is funny.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, you ready for this?
It's the
Vivint.
Yes.
Houston Open.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
It's the Houston Open presented by Vivint.
Yep.
I don't know.
They're playing at
Memorial Park Golf Course.
Yes. Par is
72. No, it's not. It's 70.
I got 72.
You got it wrong, dude.
I thought it was 72, brother man.
Now we have to look it up. Interrupt the show. 70. Here, you want this is, let me see if I can.
It is, but it's set par 70, 7,400 yards.
Yeah. Oh, see, when you go to the site, you can download the scorecard, but it only goes to 7,292 yards from the tips.
Yeah.
They don't tell you the yardage from the championship tees.
So you want to do the T's to the G's real quick?
I have some T's to the G's, kind of.
Okay. Let me do mine real quick, but the coolest thing about this golf course is that there are 3 par 3s and 3 par 4s and 3 par 5s on the front 9.
Yes. Very strange.
That is extra par 3s and extra par 4s. We call those scoring opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very excited to see this. This may not be the lowest scoring thing ever in the world because everybody's going to be there. I don't think it's going to be like video game golf.
Mm-mm.
This is my question for you basically is, are more people going to be trying to win this thing or are more people just going to be warming up for the Masters?
Warming up for the Masters for sure.
Okay.
And on top of that, what I noticed when it comes to the par 5s, we're talking about really short par 5s.
Yeah.
We're also talking about a course that doesn't favor a fade. Okay. So when you look at most of the low handicap, however you want to say that, the hardest holes on the course, all the trouble is on the right side.
What do you mean high handicap?
The holes, the handicap holes, the hardest holes.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the index.
The index of the holes, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought you were talking about like as golfers. That's
no.
Thank you for
You
clearing that up.
you and I wouldn't play well there regardless. And
because all I do is have a Brooks power fade.
All I do is win no matter what. But what are you gonna do? What I noticed was that the hardest holes on the course. There you go, raising the roof. Oh Lord. All the trouble's on the right side, and the hole leans to the right. The whole setup of the hole favors a draw.
So Phil could do really well here just because he's a lefty who fades it.
Right. So if he can, he has a real good shot actually of pulling it over hazards and bringing it back into safety.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So what I wanted to tell you before you dive really deep into any of the holes.
No, I'm not going. I just want to I just love that there's 3, 3, and 3 on the front 9. That makes my brain tingle in terms of numbers, but also just in terms of playability.
No, and what we talked last week about there wasn't really any grouping or a single hole that was very terrifying at the Bermuda Championship. Well, here there's 2, a set on each side. So on the front 9, you have the 5th hardest hole and the 1st hardest hole back to back. It's 3 and 4. Okay. All right. 3 is a par 5 that only plays 469 yards. And the par 4 after that is the hardest hole in the course that plays 400 yards.
How does this course reach 7,400 yards then?
I don't know. Well, so
how long are the par 3s?
So you'll definitely see that. I didn't look at the par 3s.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
I was looking more at the handicaps, right? The indexes.
Yeah,
so on the back 9, the finishing 3 holes, which is what I really like to see, a tough finish. 16, 17, 18, index 4, 2, and 6. Par 5, 4, and 4. The par 5 again is short, 489 yards, but the 17 is almost a 500-yard par 4, and again a very tight fairway, totally water bound, and then 18 is it seems like a manageable 346-yard par 4. What I'm seeing on this course, very tight fairways, peninsula greens, and a ton of water surrounding the safety sides.
Wait, you said so I've got hole number 3. Is that what you just said was one of the harder ones?
Mm-hmm.
I've got that at 583 yards is what it's playing.
It is. I miswrote that.
Sorry, I thought you said 487. And I was like,
I misread that.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to be like, how is that? Yeah, then you've got 490. 440. 200. Number 7 is a 216-yard par 3.
216 yards is stupid.
With junk.
With all junk.
Yeah. And then 9 will also be a par 3, 202 yards. Over a creek. I mean, it's a beautiful course.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look like a flat-landed municipal parkland course. I know it's not a municipal course. I shouldn't be saying that. Hole 11, 237-yard par 3.
That's crazy.
That's a driver for me. That's a safe driver.
Well, and I mean, it would have to be, right?
Yeah, I would be like, okay, I'm not going to be short of this. I'm going to go long, and then I'll try to chip it back on.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. I think the shortest par 3 is 155 yards.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the 15th.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of water. It looks like there's just enough water. You've got the Houston skyline in the background. It is a beautiful looking course.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's it.
You ready for some picks?
Yeah, I want to do some picks.
You get to pick first.
Oh, boo. All right.
Do you want me to? I can pick first.
Psych, I'm taking Dustin Johnson.
I'm taking Tyrrell Hatton.
I knew you would. I have him listed as second.
Why
I'm taking
are you
Hideki
taking? Why are you taking
What?
Dustin Johnson? Why are you taking
I was
him?
ready to go.
I didn't want to go through our picks that quickly.
I did.
Yeah,
All right. So Dustin Johnson.
he's number one in the
now-
world.
He's number one in the world.
Ooh.
Constantly wins
Yeah.
every time he steps out there. And he's ready to play the Masters. And I think this is one he's going to back into a win, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I actually think that he's not going to be in the lead after he finishes on Sunday, but somebody's going to really mess up, fall back into a tie. And I do kind of think it goes into a playoff where Dustin Johnson makes whomever it is look like a complete fool for trying to go into the playoff with him.
so Dustin Johnson was higher on my list. Yes, he's number one in the world. He was like one of my like safety picks, maybe like 4 or 5. I had a feeling you were going to pick him first, so I was like, back off him a little bit. Number one, he's had 2 weeks off with COVID. We don't know how hard it hit him, whether or not he's actually going to, have a good time out there. And he's a player who plays like really poorly before he plays really good. So if he's out there just playing this as a practice round, like I think he's going to make the cut. I don't think he's going to do top 20. On the other hand, Tyrrell Hatton like knows he needs to ramp up to be playing like well at the Masters. He's playing so well this year. I feel like it's a bit like Emiliano
Rio?
No. Who's the Italian? Francisco Molinari. Sorry about that. And
really off with that name.
I was so off with that name. I don't know why. I was just like, oh. But Francisco Molinari last year, like in the year leading up to 2019, like 2019 was his year.
Yeah, absolutely.
He won in Maryland when we saw him.
Yep.
He won the Open Championship, but he was in the second to last group at the Masters. In 2019. And then after that Masters loss, like we didn't see him.
Yes.
So I like we haven't seen him since.
My concern with Tyrrell Hatton is I think he comes off as a player to me, and tell me if you see otherwise, because you see a little bit more of him than I do.
Yeah.
A player that doesn't want to waste the good play just before the major. I think he'll also use this as a kind of a practice round. I do think he does have a chance to play a lot better than Dustin Johnson. Yeah. And I think it is a really smart pick.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to go out there and say, I'm going to leave it all out there to be ready for a major. I think he's going to. He just strikes me as that kind of player. But so I don't think he's going to. I think he's kind of in the same boat as Dustin Johnson. If he doesn't win, as you think, he might not even make top 20.
I think Tyrrell Hatton is. I think the difference between. I think Dustin Johnson is just going to be happy to go out there and get the reps, and he's good enough to make the cut. Like him going out and doing the reps is like good enough to be like top 50, top 40. Where I think like Tyrrell Hatton is going like, okay, like not only do I need the reps, but I need to ramp up, and ramping up for me is like top 20, like top 15, top 20.
Right.
And then he'll feel really good for next week.
All right.
All right. Who's your next pick?
We'll have to see. I'm just going to add this in there. Dustin Johnson historically plays phenomenally after having to take a break. So I am going to pick.
Yes.
I'm going to take Hideki Matsuyama. I passed on him 3 weeks ago, and he finished top 5. So I'm going to not let that opportunity pass me by.
Okay.
Hideki with his cool delayed swing. That's my man. That's my pick number 2.
Okay. I'm with you.
Hideki's got the game to win.
Hold on. Let me look at my list again.
All right. Look at your list. If you want to.
Okay.
I wish we had Jeopardy music.
I know. Sorry. I'm looking at my list and I'm going like, when you sort of look at it and you're like, who am I gonna block Gunner? Who am I gonna get to ruin Gunner's big day? This is what you do when you pick second. You're like, do I pick Doc? But I think you're gonna pick Doc third.
That's my boy.
I know.
I told you, I'm going to be the one to call it correctly the day it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I will sacrifice my entire reputation to pick Doc Redman to win a tournament.
Are you picking him for this tournament? Is he your third pick?
Can I have him for this tournament?
Yeah, okay, I'll go with Russell Henley then.
Oh wow! He wasn't even on my list.
Yeah, he's played so well the last two tournaments. This is a tournament for him. But I think he's not. I don't think he's going to the Masters.
Well, neither is Doc Redman. So
no, neither is Daniel Berger.
Neither is Daniel. Well, Daniel Berger got shafted hard on that, so he deserves to be in the Masters. And
he does.
You and I both agree that he's one of the top 5 players to probably win the Masters. If you had to pick 5 players who you thought were the best to win,
he's in our top 10.
He's definitely in our top 10. But you'd have to agree with me. Out of the entire Masters field, if Daniel Berger,
what I'm saying is, if me and you each got 5 picks, if we each had 5 picks.
100%.
He's in our top 10.
Yes.
Like us together.
Together, yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? What was I gonna say is so you're picking Doc Redman.
I am.
Okay. I saw it from a mile away. I just wish you'd picked him first.
No, I can't. No. Because I know that you're too good of a guy and you don't believe in Doc like I do. You don't believe in him. And it almost cost you last week.
I'm starting to.
It almost cost you last week. And I want to be on record that I started doing this 6 months ago.
Yes.
I know talent when I see it.
Yeah. You started seeing it at when the break ended.
I started. Well,
and I was like, who is this Corn Fairy guy? I've never heard of him.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
And so
now I hear his name every week.
He's my guy.
Can we reach out? Can you do a bit? Let's reach out to him. See if he wants to be on the podcast.
Doc, my guy. You're probably my favorite player at the moment. I'm not going to tell him that because that sounds rude. But I'm going to ride or die with Doc Redman. He better not let me down. If he quits golf, I'm going to go into a deep state of sadness.
He won't.
He's too good. Why would you quit that good?
All right, my last pick?
Your last pick.
My last pick. I really like this guy.
Yeah.
And I've liked him for about 4 years. I thought he would win a lot more. He had a real chance to win the Masters in 2019.
I have a really weird feeling I know who you're picking. Go ahead.
Tony Finau.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who you thought I was going to pick?
Yeah, I have him right here.
Yeah. I just think this is it's what's strange is like, I don't think we picked anybody because this is the course for them.
Right.
We picked everybody because we know they have to try really hard to do well. The reason I picked Russell Henley is because and the same reason you picked Doc Redman is somebody who's not playing, somebody who's not using this as training for the Masters is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So who's it going to be, Russell Henley or Doc Redman? That's what we're saying right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc Redman's going to totally win.
Yeah, Russell Henley. He's got the Sony Open win about 8 years ago. He's a Nike player. He's got long flowing blonde hair.
He does. All right. Who's your long shot? It's my long shot.
Yeah.
Phil, top 20. Give it to me.
Phil, top 20?
Yeah.
All right. Lee Westwood, top 20.
Okay.
I'll do the European version of Phil. How about that? Top 20.
Top 20. Got it. All right. Oh, what did I do here? Okay, I turned off my camera.
What is your prop?
So my prop bet, check this out. Is Jordan Spieth playing in this tournament?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So Texas as a state has this really – it's a large one. It has this really weird vibe about it where
People do well there. It's got its own, like, you have
Yes.
the California swing, you have the Texas swing, you have the Florida swing. They each have their own grass and climate.
Yes. That's why my prop bet is a Texas native wins this
That's
tournament.
great. That's a really good one. You want to hear mine?
Yes.
Mine is somebody who's not playing in the
What's going
Masters
on?
wins.
Okay. That
just means I get points if Doc wins.
Masters player wins. Okay.
Yeah?
You got it.
All right.
What's your low round of the week?
The
whole week. Low round.
-9,
Ooh.
61.
And you said you weren't going video game golf. Okay.
It's hard. Like, Dustin's there.
I know
If he turns it on, you can't stop him.
That's kind of why mine's 8 under.
Yeah. The thing is whoever picks first, it's like it's either 9 or 10. Like I didn't know if you were gonna go basically one higher or one lower. All right. So then what is your weekly score?
We've gotten really good real quick. We've gotten really good at coming to the same conclusion without talking to each other about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going 19 under because Dustin Johnson's playing.
I'm going 22.
Wow.
Because I think the low 20s have just been it lately.
You're right. It's
Like,
how do you feel about that?
I don't love it.
Almost every tournament goes to 20. It used to be super awesome when they would get to like 15 under. You remember that? You remember those days when it was like, wow, they got to 15 under.
Yeah.
We've seen 30 this year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't, yeah, when you're shooting 8 under at an average of 8 under or around,
yeah,
something's broken in golf. Maybe that's what I'll talk about in our next segment called The Ragedom.
You raging on in the next one? I just like to sit back and let you yell.
Well, so we've decided we're trying out this new bit, right? We're trying out like new stuff. So like in the beginning, we're going to do what we're doing at golf. I think at the end we should do a bit of a ragedom.
Like you want to do a bit like a comedic bit, like a blind doctor who doesn't know he's blind but has to save lives. That kind of bit, or just like a segment.
Just like a segment, segment.
Not like a comedic thing.
No, I just want to be angry about something.
Oh, I wish you would.
Yeah. All right. You ready for the next read?
Yeah, let's read.
Let's read.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Hey.
Hey, Ben.
I'm super psyched about this. We are doing a bunch of stuff on YouTube at the moment.
What?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of video content. I think now that we're in lockdown, I think I'm going to start a Twitch account.
We as in you.
Yeah.
A Twitch?
Yeah.
I have a Twitch. We have a Twitch. No, we have a maybe it's Mixer. We have a Mixer account.
I'm going to start a Twitch account. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out we're going to play simulator golf.
Yes.
On Twitch.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
So I'm going to play like Augusta like all weekend on Twitch.
It's not called that though, right? It's called Awesome
Georgia Greens.
Awesome Georgia Golf Course.
Yeah, Awesome Georgia Golf Course, exactly. Okay. But yeah, so we've got a YouTube channel. We try to be just about everywhere at the moment. We're having so much fun doing this podcast. This read is really just to thank you guys, citizens of the Swingdom. If you haven't heard, we're going to be doing driving licenses.
Yeah, we made that up on this show.
We did just now.
So if you're just tuning in, like if you do this thing where you start a podcast and then you skip to the middle, you would have missed the part where we talked about this.
Yeah. And the other side of that is like, we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it now, but we're like 60 or 70 episodes in.
We've done this for a long time.
We've been doing this for 7 or 8 months now. And if you are an avid listener of us, the best way for you to show your appreciation is to go onto Apple, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, however many stars, whatever you want to say. We just appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to say something about us, regardless of whether or not it's nice. Check us out on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You will get every podcast video we make on YouTube. And then if you want to see what we're doing in our day-to-day lives, that's what the Instagram is for.
Mm-hmm.
We're dropping golf photos, aspirational, non-aspirational, us playing golf, us just enjoying golf. My favorite, though, on the podcast is when on the Instagram is when Gunnar does what is it? I want to say man of the match, but like that's me being in England for too long. When you man of the people.
On Instagram.
Yeah, man of the people on Instagram is hilarious.
Man of the people is one of my favorite things, and I think a really popular thing for those of you who don't know Man of the People, we award the man of the people per round, and it's the worst player per round. So whoever finishes last every day,
somebody we think we could beat.
Somebody that day who has proven that they could lose to us, that gets man of the people.
Yeah. So check us out on Instagram. We're on Twitter a little bit. I think we just use Twitter to promote some of our stuff. But follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We're on Facebook. Go to Facebook, comment, message us, any of these platforms. Yeah. Like we're just here to you know what? We just want to engage with our loyal citizens.
That's true.
The citizens of the Swingdom. I think they mean more to us than we know. And we just want to engage with them, turn this into a bit more of a community than us just having a talk fest.
Yeah.
So
you know what? We're like a true democracy.
Yeah. Okay? We respond to every commented message regardless. So send away.
If you want your voice heard on this podcast, drop us an email.
Drop us a note.
Yeah. Drop us something.
Drop us anything.
Anything. We're like, that's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to the Swingdom. I just wanted to take the time out of this read to thank you and appreciate you guys.
We paid for this read.
We did.
For you.
You owe me $3.50, Gunnar.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Now that our advertising rates are out in the open.
So there was a bit of news that I forgot. I just want to go back and do this. Will Zalatoris has his temporary tour card.
Yes, shout out. We speaking of the Instagram, we give him a big shout out on the Instagram. He that got in front of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
So Will Zalatoris, now that you're a citizen of the Swingdom, welcome, dude.
Welcome.
Pretty excited. We like Will.
Yes.
We like him. We're on first name basis, obviously, but you know.
Who aren't? Okay. So this is. I just want to rage on about this.
Please.
What makes the Houston Open at Memorial?
Whoa. Memorial Park. Yeah. You gotta be careful with that one.
Sorry about that. Not
this is
that's not the Memorial Tournament at. Yeah. This is at Memorial Park in Houston.
Yeah.
What makes this more qualified for the top professionals in the PGA Tour to be there than the Bermuda Championship?
Money.
Is that it? Is it like because it's not a $5 million purse, it's a $9 million purse? All right, let's all show up.
Who's the most famous person you know from Bermuda? Right. Who's the most famous player you know from Texas?
J.J. Watts.
Yeah, who else?
Oh, he's not from Texas.
No.
George Bush.
Yeah, George Bush. How about Jordan Spieth, 2-time Masters winner?
No, I mean, I'm sorry, like golfer, yes, like Ben Crenshaw. Right. Ben Hogan is from Texas. Byron Nelson is from Texas. Normally this is like but this isn't the Byron Nelson Championship. This is just the Houston Open.
I think if I'm not wrong, which there's a really good chance I'm wrong. If I'm not wrong, this was the Byron Nelson.
No, I think they still have a Byron Nelson.
It doesn't matter.
It does to me.
It kind of does matter.
Yeah, because it's the AT&T Byron Nelson, which is not this. Because that happens. The AT&T Byron Nelson is in Dallas because that's where they're from.
To answer your question again, money.
Yeah, money. Okay,
it's money. It's money.
And I mean, like, to be fair, if it was me, I would have gone to Bermuda last week, dodged the traffic in Houston this week, and enjoyed a little bit of extra time getting used to the climate and the sunset of an Augusta National that I've never played before. Now, I'm not saying I would play Augusta National. I would just say that I would be in the area playing some golf courses near there of a similar quality and just sort of like
Augusta Country Club.
Yeah, like just get used to it. Just get used to the temperatures, the wind, all that sort of stuff. And I would have just had fun crushing it at Bermuda, enjoying being in beautiful Bermuda. Bermuda, we're open to any sponsorship that you want to send us.
Visit Bermuda, free plug, shout out.
Yep, there you go. Shout out. That the first one's free. All right.
Pay for the next one.
So Brooks is back nursing his injury. He's got no shot to win the Masters, does he? Dustin Johnson is here. Let me just go
Tony Finau, Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah.
Doc Redmond.
I'm not so much angry about where were you last week? Because there's a bunch of guys here that were but yeah, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Matsuyama, Finau, Sergio Garcia,
Henrik Stenson.
He was in last week though. He withdrew.
MKM, Keegan Bradley, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Jason Day.
To be fair, there's not as many as I thought. Charles Hatton, Adam Scott, Brant Snedeker, Jimmy Walker, Kevin Stadler, Mackenzie Hughes. Yep. Kevin Chappell, Adam Schenk.
Ollie Schneiderjans.
Yeah. And
not playing in the Masters, but really good.
I just don't understand who and how they differentiate between the Bermuda and this. I just don't get it.
Money.
Okay. If that's all it is money, the tour needs to do a better job of saying you need to not have 9 million. You need to give them 2 million. Everyone is 7 million. They're all worth the same. We need to get players to all of these different events, not just because we want to showcase the events or the courses, but because we need to have I get it if the majors and the WGCs are $10 to $12 million purses. But I don't understand how you have the Corn Ferry Tour where it's a couple $100,000 purses. And then you have these off-week events, which are $4 or $5 million purses. And it's basically the core. I mean, so I was listening to something this week. I was listening to the Perfect Number podcast. I thought this was very interesting. And the guy he was interviewing on there, he says there's 3 on tour. There were 3 tours.
Yeah.
You've got the guys who are in the top 20 who were in it for the majors.
Yeah.
Right. Then you have the guys who are in 21 to 70 or 21 to 100. And what they're doing is they're fighting for Eastlake. They're fighting to get in the playoffs and make it to the end of the playoffs. Then you have the guys from
fighting for their cards.
No. Then I was just saying. Then the third tour is the guys who are fighting from 100 to 250 or 3. You've got 200 guys still on the tour who are just fighting for their tour card next year.
Yeah.
So you have those 3 types of players on the PGA Tour. And the thing is, you just don't see those top 25, those top 20 to 30 guys in most of these events.
No.
So, I don't know. It boggles my mind. So that's just one of the things that I'm going to keep raging on about.
Money.
Yeah. But you would think Bermuda has a ton of money.
Do they? Compared to
Texas? The people who live in Bermuda have a reasonable... I'm pretty sure it's a tax haven.
Offshore.
I'm pretty sure it's offshore. So
well, Bermuda itself is definitely offshore.
Yeah, I was watching it last week, and Isadora, my wife, was like, oh, well, what if we wanted to live in Bermuda? And I was just like, no. And she's like, let's look at these. And so she found this weird bay of something near the Port Royal golf course. And the cheapest house was $5 million. And the most expensive house was in the hundreds of millions.
Money.
Yes. So why isn't like those guys who have like a couple $100 million house be like, here's $2 million. Just, you know what? Get Dustin Johnson here for a weekend. I feel like partying with him.
They could do exactly what I said. Pay the
Have a barbecue at your
PGA Tour
house.
$10 million and have a barbecue.
All right. Is there anything you want to rage on about?
Nope.
All right.
Not yet. Catch me at the end of the week.
All right. What did we do what we're doing in golf?
I'm not doing anything.
I'm practicing. All of my golf courses are closed. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up my Twitch account now.
That's right. There you go.
So check us out on Twitch. Thank you guys. Thank you, citizens of the Swing Zone, for listening this week for the Houston Open. Hope you enjoyed our picks, a bit of rage, and what happened this week in the news. So I'm Ben. I'm with Gunner.
That's me.
That's him. Thank you for listening to the Swingdom. Drop us a line through our website, comments, anything, review. We appreciate it all. And send us your driving videos.
Driving videos,
because I'm going to go from here. I'm going straight upstairs to plug in the laminator.
Please do.
Okay.
I'll go design the
license.
I'll go design the license and send it to you.
Yeah. And then because all the driving ranges are closed, I'm gonna spend a bit of tomorrow trying to get my driver's license, see if I can be number one on it.
All right.
All right.
I love it.
I'll talk to you later, Gunner.
All right. Swinged them out.
Swinged him out.
You've been listening to The Swingdom. Remember, we're just two guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given.
You know we're gonna have to like make stickers and patches as well.
Yeah. Can we just get honorary driver's license?
No. I wonder if we should do like class like P for putting, class I for irons.
Oh, I like
class
that.
W for wedges.
All right.
And like you can get like letters added on if you pass in multiple categories.
I like that.
All right. If you drive it over 300 yards, you can get your commercial driver's license.
Commercial driver's license.